competition among people of the same field. And I remember you mentioned this some time ago about dua as well, mashayikh and all of this. How can we really ensure that even if we're academics in other careers on social media and we're doing the same thing, how can we really ensure that we're not stepping on other people's toes and we love, you know, for them to grow and to be successful, even though we are in the same field?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You know, generally, we learn a lot when we visit other places and see the way people operate. If you go to the Middle East sometimes, in the Gulf region, perhaps here in some parts, you find a store that sells mobile phones. Next to it, there are 20 other stores that all sell mobile phones. Most of them get along to the degree that when one guy doesn't have stock, he might tell you, go to this guy, go to the other guy. I lived in Medina for many years, and I remember there was a guy that I used to help because I spoke English and I was a young student and so on. He used to sell abayas for the women. And one day someone came and wanted a very expensive abaya, and he had it, he saw the size and everything was there. And then when she was taking out this money to give him, this guy says, do me one favor, can you go across to that guy and get it from there? So she said, okay. She went. So I told him, why? He picked up the phone. Those days there were those dialing phones. He dials the phone number. He says, listen, I sent you a client because she wants this, 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 and this size. He said, yes, I have it. Okay, you can sell it to her. I've said this price here. He said, oh, Jazakallah khair, thank you so much. Put the phone down. Here I am learning a lesson. He says, I've been watching all day, people are coming to me. No one went to him yet. I thought, let me give him a beginning, you know, let him start. That incident changed my life. It changed my life. Because I was still young and I thought to myself, imagine this guy, instead of having everything for himself, which was so easy, he said, that's a friend of mine or whoever it might be, a competition, just go and start, barakah. And he tells me that whenever I do this, I get more and I get more, and so many people keep coming and coming. And he says, I do that every day, especially when in the morning time when more people come to him because of his positioning. Now, if you go to any field, shaitan comes and makes people want to be, hey, let me have everything for myself. Let me be this and that. That is shaitan. Greed. That is shaitan. If you are applying any unethical means to promote yourself, you know that it's unethical, cutting someone and so much more, shortchanging a person, you know, doing something that is really, you know that in Islam as a Muslim, you're supposed to be wanting for your brother what you want for yourself. So in a way, I've got, it's not like I don't have, and I've got a lot of it. Am I prepared to share what I have? If the answer is no, you have to work on your belief. Because Islam makes it a pillar of faith. The zakat. What is zakat? To promise that you will share the excess of what you have with those who don't have. I can't give my zakat to another rich man. I've got to give it to someone who doesn't have what I have. That's part of your faith. And if that's the case, you will grow. So this issue of, you know, wanting to cut someone else and so on, yes, from a human perspective, from a corporate perspective, from a worldly perspective, it's considered being smart. But you know that what you did is terrible. What you did is wrong. You will have no barakah in what you've done. People apply unethical means to grow, and that's where you fall down. You know, what's smart according to the world is actually sinful sometimes in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, how much do you want? I always tell people, you made so much money. What's the cap? Where do you think it's going to be sufficient? Nobody has ever said there is a cap. They always want to go, one day I want to be a billionaire. And inshallah we can go to so many billions. This guy, Musk, is worth 350 billion, for example. We want to go beyond that. Come on. In your entire life, if you live the most luxury life on earth, you won't spend a few million in your whole life. What you're going to do with the excess? You need to think about that. Let other people earn. And Islam, if you look at earning in particular, has laws in place that ensure that everyone has a fair chance. You don't just make money off this one and that one You know, there is a law in the Sharia that if a person is coming from outside, say for example from one of the smaller towns into the bigger cities, who and how he sells his product or produce or animals or whatever it might be is governed in Islam. And that's a topic on its own, but may Allah Almighty grant us good hearts where we wish for others goodness, even if it is in the same field. We wish for others a lot of goodness and we support them, and we don't come across that, you know, I am this and I am that, because I am nothing, I am nobody. The world can think about you, it's okay. You shouldn't think about it yourself. You know, one last point if I can say. I visited the UK for the first time in 1998. For the first time. And one of my relatives was applying for a job. And he wrote there, I am the most fit for this post because I this and I know and whatever. And the way he bragged about himself. To me, I was still a young guy, a fresh graduate from Medina Munawwara. And I'm thinking, look at how haram this letter is. So I told him, I said, hey, you know what, you're promoting yourself and it's so unreasonable. He said, that's the only way you're going to get a job. And he got the job, mashallah. So I learned from that in a corporate world, you have to do that sometimes, to say, you know what, I am this, I am that. The minute you're trampling on the toes of someone, or you really start going out to the public to say, I, me, and I am this, I am that. You know what? You are the lowest of the low and the scum of the world. Even if, in a corporate sense, you're the wealthiest and the top and the whatever, you are not top in the eyes of Allah. And people are not fools. Very soon they will know. You won't enjoy your life. You'll have chaos in your family, chaos in your community, chaos in your real life. Maybe you might have so many problems, and the only thing you might have is that one thing that you actually claimed that you have it all. May Allah make it easy for us. So much to say, depending on what field and depending on what it is, but it's a can of worms. Allah protect us.
Allahumma ameen.